If you're planning on attending the grand opening, be sure to get there early. The store plans on giving away t-shirts for the first 1,000 customers. Elephant in the Room Boxing gives students in New Haven the chance to fight in the gym instead of on the street. But it's hard to believe that graphic images like these could be considered collector's items. Bank of America imposed a $5 fee in September for monthly debit card use. Now, the bank has decided to eliminate the fee in the best interest of itself and its customers. Bonnie and Jim DeLucia have spent over 65 summers here at their home on 278 Cozy Avenue. Concert t-shirts, jeans, and black shoes is a popular trend here in Asbury Park. A Hartford Superior Court judge is hearing arguments about whether Governor Malloy's decision to lay off 56 state troopers should be dismissed. Students are not only learning about gardening, but they're enjoying getting their hands dirty in a garden of their own. If the facts about smoking don't scare you already, then maybe the FDA's new labels will. I went into Hamden to see what people thought of the new warning labels.
It's disgusting.
This is the reaction the FDA hopes to get from its new tobacco warnings. In September 2012, the FDA will require tobacco companies to place graphic images like these on the front and back of all cigarette packages.
It looks disgusting. Kind of makes you nauseous. It's gross.
But is it enough to stop people from smoking?
It may help to get people off of it. All I know is I need something a little stronger than a picture.
Back in high school, Ken's class was taken to a morgue and shown the actual lungs of smokers. But even that didn't stop him from smoking.
That was enough to scare you, but it wasn't. Unfortunately, you are as much an addict as anybody else, and it's very difficult to quit these things.
And it's an addiction that's stuck with Ken for more than 40 years.
Got the Sig 2Os.
Walter McCarthy sells cigarettes to customers every day, and he thinks people will eventually become numb to the images.
Shock value comes once. After that, you basically, you're blind to it.
The new cigarette packages won't stop everyone from smoking, but it's hard to believe that graphic images like these could be considered collector's items.
We're probably going to start a collector series from the corpse to the burned out lungs and the throats and all those. We're going to have a whole series of them.
Although a collector series may not have been what the FDA intended, the new cigarette packages mark the first change in tobacco warnings in more than 25 years. Come September, the FDA will see just how many smokers will blow it off and how many will put it out. In Hamden, I'm Natalie Sgro, Q30 News. Nefertiti Miller is a national champion boxer, but her future wasn't always bright. When Brian Clark first met Nefertiti, she was 16 years old and a high school dropout.
It took a great deal, but she's back in school now getting A's and B's. Now she's going to go to college next year.
Nefertiti is just one of Brian's success stories as a boxing coach over the past 20 years. Boxing gyms like Ring 1 are actually a solution to one of New Haven's most complex problems, youth violence. Homicide is the second leading cause of death among young people between the ages of 10 and 24. Between 2005 and 2008, more than 500 people were the victims of shootings in New Haven. 25 of these victims were between the ages of 10 and 24.
So basically, this is going to be what we call the gym area.
Devon Kennedy is the owner of Elephant in the Room Boxing Gym and a former world champion boxer.
Our mission here is to sort of be a place of refuge for the children in this neighborhood.
Elephant in the Room Boxing gives students in New Haven the chance to fight in the gym instead of on the streets.
Shadow box first, a heavy bag, then a jump rope. Then after jump rope, we go to speed bag.
Devon is trying to help kids on the north side of New Haven, while Ring 1 Boxing is already making a difference on the west side of the city.
I've never had a kid who was active in the program get arrested and go to jail.
But one of the biggest obstacles is getting the kids to stick with the program.
I had a kid who got killed because he wasn't in the gym. And he told me a week before he got killed, "Coach, I'm going to come back to the gym next week, promise." Well, that time never came.
For coaches like Brian and Devon, success is not measured by medals or championships.
If you get a kid who can do better in school, who has less problems at home, who has the confidence to pass a test, whether it's a school test. He has the confidence to go for a job interview and realize, I can get this job. Then your program is successful.
In New Haven, I'm Natalie Sgro, Q30 News.
Hey, good girl.
A baby's life is all fun and games, but for Kendall Pallone, even playing with her toys is hard work.
Currently, right now, she's developmentally behind normal 1.5-year-old. She doesn't talk, she doesn't crawl, she doesn't sit without assistance.
Before Kendall was born, Adam Pallone and his wife Lauren went in for a normal checkup. Then something unexpected happened.
The next thing we know, my wife's getting prepped for surgery, and I'm getting OR scrubs handed to me.
Lauren suffered from a pregnancy condition called preeclampsia. Her heart rate and blood pressure were extremely high, to the point where it was dangerous for both Lauren and Kendall. Doctors don't know what causes preeclampsia to occur, and it can happen to an otherwise healthy individual.
At that particular moment, I went from having everything to almost losing everything.
After being rushed to the emergency room, Kendall was delivered at 29 weeks, 11 weeks before her due date.
These are the first footprints that they did of her.
But it was only the beginning of a long journey.
From there, it's been a struggle with Kendall. She's been very demanding from day one.
The birthing process left Kendall with a fair amount of brain damage. She's been in and out of the hospital for most of her life and has already had 8 brain surgeries.
When we got home, it's still kind of a shock to have to go through everything that we were going through.
Kendall has also been diagnosed with cerebral palsy, a disease that could debilitate her mentally and physically.
We don't really know where Kendall's life will take her. We know she's been diagnosed with that CP.
Now that she's home, Kendall's life is anything but easy.
We work daily with physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, feeding therapists.
Even Kendall's toys are a form of therapy.
This is one of Kendall's Switch toys. It's a toy developed for children with special needs.
The Switch toy actually helps Kendall communicate her needs. By pressing a button with Adam's face on it, she can ask for her dad.
Daddy.
According to the Pallones, the amount of therapy and exercise Kendall goes through in just 1 week is more intense than a college athlete.
It makes for a busy day, but we try and do everything we can to give Kendall the best outcome.
In Marlborough, I'm Natalie Sgro, Q30 News.